This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so guys, I was dialing into old link. Fine. So now, today's concept we have to start with where, correct? We are done with if, now it is where, correct? Agree, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So now we'll start with where. So along with where, we can use these many types of operators. Along with where, we can use these many types of operators. We can use arithmetic operators, we can use comparison, we can use logical, we can use expressions, others, everything. So I'll give you an example for all these types of cases. You see, right? In terms of arithmetic, you have plus, minus, star, whatever it is. Comparison, you see, right? Equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than. This we all know. Comparison operators, we are clear. Logical operators, and. So and also we are clear. And or also we are clear. Correct. Earlier we already have learned. Correct. Earlier we have learned where statement is or no. Right. So other operators, you see concatenation. So concatenation, what it is, you can see. Right. Next. Where expressions only between and, contains, is null or is missing. That is how it is. Okay. Right. So now you can see here. I can use all these things. Suppose to say I have my data. So data set DS1 contains what all the variables we have in data set DS1.
Patient ID.
Patient ID, drug name, visit date, correct? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. So now you can see here, from this list of all the observations, I want all the details related to patient number 101. I want details related to patient number 101. So now if you see libraries, work, DS2 dataset, you see, right? You see, right? This is how it is. You got all 101 details, right? Next, suppose this, if I want greater than or equal to 101, if I want all the subjects, where subject ID or patient ID greater than or equal to 101. So greater than or equal to 101, we know, right? So if you see DS2A, I get all the observations because I have data starting from 101 only. Whenever I have written greater than or equal to 101, it will consider all the records. Next. Suppose to say, if you wanted to see subjects who are taking ASP 10 mg, I wanted to find people who is taking this ASP 10 mg. Okay, right. So if you want to take people whose subject is less than, who has taken drug ASP 10 mg, you see, right? I have written that. So whenever you are filtering for a character value, that character value should be present in inverted commas. This is basic, we all know. Correct. Right. So now you can see here 2B data set, you see, You get subjects who are taking 10 mg. So 102 subject is taking 10 mg, right? Next. Data to a DS2C. Okay, right, data DS2C. Set DS1 where visit date equal to 15 Jan 2005. So whenever you are filtering date values, at the end we are supposed to write D. Then only your system will understand it is a date. Right. So I wanted to find people who came to my clinic on 15 Jan 2005 D. Okay, on a particular date, I wanted to see list of all the subjects who visited my clinic. So I submitted my code. If you see DS2C. So how many subjects came? Subject number 101 came twice. Correct? Right. So now you can see this is how it is. Next. So if you wanted to do this, you can also, if you wanted to cross check, you can do it. You see, right? If you wanted to cross check, you can do it. Suppose to say this is my master data set. Okay. So now if you see data, okay, if you see data, so data you have where here, you see, right? If you don't want to create a data set, if you just wanted to see, so just go to where PID equal to 101. Click OK. That's it. So it will display list of all the 101 records. Okay. Now, if you want one more condition, here where clear is there, it will clear the condition, where condition. So now you see here, again I wanted to see people who has taken drug 10 mg, where drug equal to, look up distinct values, 10 mg. So we have seen all 1 or 2 subjects has taken 10 mg drugs, right? Right. So is this clear to everyone, yes or no? Is this clear to everyone, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right. Next. This is DS2C. Next. Where end operators. Where end operators. Okay. Right. So now you can see here, this is your where end operators. Using your end operator along with where statement is nothing but where end operators. So I want people who came to my clinic after 12 Jan and before 20 Jan. So if you want that, you can do it. Yes or no? So greater than 12 and less than 20. So greater than 12 is nothing but 13. You will have 12.1 date, no, right? You have 13. Greater than 12 is nothing but 13. Less than 20 means 90. I wanted to see list of all the patients who visited my clinic, between 13 and 19. So if you see, what all the subjects came? Next. Next. If suppose to say I wanted a list of all the subjects greater than 101 and 104. Right. So if I run the program, how much I'll get? What are the subjects I get? How much I'll get here? I will get all the patients greater than 101 is nothing but 102, 103. Again, less than 104 is there, right? So you'll get all the subjects related to 102, 103. You see it, right? 102, 103. Clear, everyone? Everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay, fine. Next. Where between? Where between? Okay, right. So between means inclusive range. So here, whenever you're writing where, visit date greater than 12, less than 20, right? So between means it will take both inclusive range. Inclusive range means it will take both lower and upper limit. Okay, you see, right? So we are visit date between 15 Jan 2005 and 21 Jan 2005 D. So means it will consider 15th date and 21st date also. Between means inclusive range. So DS4 data set, if you see, is that clear? Right.
Yes, sir.
So this is between. Between means it will take 15 value also, it will take 21 value also. Next. In operator, we all know in operator. Whenever we have multiple categories, in that case to filter them, we use in operator. Where patient ID in 102, 103. So what all subjects you get into DS5 data set? What all we get?
102, 103.
102, 103, correct? So if you run this, you get 102, 103 data. Right. So 102, 103 patient data. Next. Like operator. Like operator. So if you see here, if you wanted to find drug names with starting letter A, with starting letter C, likewise, if you have any such requirement, this like operator will help you. So now, suppose to say, I have a data set. Okay, so you see, right, I have a data set DS6. So now, DS6 data set is having the variables patient ID, drug name, visit date, 3 variables. Okay. So DS6 data set, I have all the data. So you see drug number, patient ID 101, drug ASP 5 mg, 12 Jan, ASP 10 mg, BSP, AAP. So now you can see here, I wanted to find all the drug names starting with letter C. How many drugs are there with starting letter C? How many drugs are there with starting letter C?
One.
1 drug, sir.
Only one record, right? Only one record, correct. So now I'm trying to pick that. So now if you see data set DS6A, where drug name like C percentage. Whenever I write that percentage, after C, it can be any text. After C, it can be any text. Okay, right. So now you see this is your C percentage. Okay, right. So C percentage means it will give all the observations starting with letter C. Right. So if I run the program, you see 6A data set. How many observations are there? One observation, right? So we were able to get that one observation. Okay, next. Right, sorry. I wanted to find drug name with second letter A. I wanted to find a drug name with second letter A. So how many drugs are there with second letter A? How many drugs are there with second letter A?
Four, sir.
Second letter A.
No, sir. Only one, sir.
Only one. So if you wanted to filter second letter, if you wanted to find observations with second letter, okay, then you have to write first underscore. So underscore represents before A it can be any text. Second letter will be A. After A it can be any text, any number of characters. Whenever I write percentage, after this it can be any number of characters, it can be any text. Okay, right. Is that clear, everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right. Next. So now 6B dataset, if you see second letter A, you get the data. 6C, you see that before 5, how many underscores are there? Means any characters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So fifth position should be 5. So you see fifth position is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you get this. How many records you get? Fifth position 5. How many records you get?
5.
5 records.
Yes, sir.
Record correct enough. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So you get 5 records. So if you see 6C data set, you get 5 records. 5 mg, 15 mg, both it will read. Okay. Right. Next. Percentage G. I wanted to find drugs ending with letter G. Whenever I write a percentage before, means ending letter should be G, correct? Okay. I wanted to find drugs ending with letter G. So how many drugs are there with letter ending G? You see, this is the data. How many are there?
Sir, all drugs are ending with G, sir.
8,
So
sir.
all the
8, sir.
are ending with G. So you'll get all the things. Okay, right. Right. So 6D. All the drugs, 8 numbers we have, 8 we have. And the next one, I wanted to find drug names with last but one letter M. Before M, it can be any number of characters, it can be any characters. But after M, it should be only one. Means it can be anything. After M, it can be anything. So now, last but one letter M. Last but one letter M.
All, sir.
Sir, all drugs.
All.
So you see, right, all drugs. So 6E, you get all drugs. Last but one letter is M. Right. Next. 6D. 6D is done. Sorry, 6F. So I want 0 after 0, 2 characters are there. 1 and that is true. Okay. So how many drugs I get?
3, sir.
Yes, sir. 3.
3, sir.
Okay. So it is 3, 10 mg. It will be called 10 mg. 1, 2, 3. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Right. Okay, fine. Next. Where contains. Where contains. So where contains means if you find an observation, suppose to say in your letter, I wanted to find names which contains some letter R, some letter S. Okay, so if you wanted to find such a case, you can see here, this is your dataset DS1. Okay, right. So now you can see here, this is my dataset DS1. From this data, I wanted to find all the names which contains letter R. From this data, I wanted to find list of all the names which contains R. Right. So you can see here, it contains dataset DS1. So where name contains R. So how many names are having letter R? How many names are there? How many observations I get? Ramakrishna, in this name R
No,
is
sir.
there, yes or no? So if it is there,
4,
R, you
sir.
can put that record. So you get 4 observations here in DS2 dataset.
Sir, no, sir. Only 3 observations.
It will get only 3 observations because Raju, it is capital
Raju
R.
is in
Small R, it
capital.
will not pick. It will not pick. Okay, right. So now you can see here, this is how it is. DS2 dataset, if you see, you get 3 observations. Next, how many observations I get into DS3 dataset?
Two, sir.
It is how many? You'll get only 2 because I have only 2 observations with capital R. Okay, capital R, Ramakrishna, I have capital R, Raju, I have capital R. Correct. So it will give only 2 observations, DS3 dataset, you can see. Right. So now you can see here, this is how it is. Where name contains R. Right. So now you can see here, instead of writing contains, you can also write question mark symbol. If you, instead of writing contains, you can also write question mark symbol. Okay. Right. So DS4 dataset. Right. Next. Is null or is missing? Is null or is missing? So if you have null values or missing values, you can select them using is null or is missing concepts. So if you wanted to select observations where you have missing value, then you can do that using is null or is missing. So now you can see here. So dataset DS1 has some missing values for variable drug name. If you wanted to filter this missing values, then normally what we do, we write a drug name is equal to inverted commas missing we write. Instead of that, you can simply write is null, where drug name is null, where drug name is missing. So both gives the same result. You see, right? 1A is null, is missing. Both is giving the same result. Data DS1A, where P name is equal to Smith. Where P name is equal to Smith. I wanted to find all the observations where patient name is Smith. Okay, right. So now I have a data set DS1A. Where patient name equal to Smith. So you see, it will take only one observation. SMITH Smith, it is matching, it will take one observation. I wanted to filter all the observations which has the pronunciation Smith. I repeat, which has the pronunciation Smith. So here you are selecting observations based on pronunciation. You are selecting observations based on pronunciation. Okay, right. SMITH Smith, SMIT Smith both has same pronunciation. Correct. So now you can see here SMIT Smith, SMITH Smith. So whenever you write equal to star, whenever you add this star here, it will take same observations which are have, it will collect the observations, or it will filter the observations which has the same pronunciation. So DS1B you can see SMITH Smith, SMIT Smith. Okay, so this is how it works. Even though spelling is different, if pronunciation is same, you will be able to pick that record using equal to star. Where same end operator. So whenever you are writing two separate where statements, whenever you are writing two separate where statements, your second statement will override first where statement. Your second where statement will override first where statement. This is a point to be noted. Okay, your second where statement will override first where statement. Right. Okay, your second where statement will override first where statement. To overcome this, we are supposed to write where same end. To overcome this, we are supposed to write where same end. Okay. So where same end operator will help you to execute both the commands. So data set DS1A. So greater than 12, less than 20, both it will take into consideration. You select greater than 12, less than 20. If suppose to say if you are not writing where same end, this is an interview question. What happens whenever I write both where statements? So if you run the program, you see right DS1A. You see right? It is giving greater than 12. Greater than 12 I said right, but still you have 12 here. I said greater than 12, but still you have 12 here. You see it right? Right. So this is how it works. Okay. So it is considering only second condition. That is what I mean to say, or I wanted to focus. So you see, right, where clause has been replaced means first where clause has gone and it is showing data based on second where clause only. Okay, this should not happen. So we have to use this. So this where same end is nothing but where end operator. That's it. Where same end, where end, both are one and the same. Okay, right. You see DS1A, you have all the data greater than 12, less than 20. Right. So with this, we are done with where concept. So what is the difference between where and if statements? What is the difference between where and if statements? So underline this point, where statement will always apply on input data set. Where statement always applies on input data set. Whenever you're writing a condition for a variable, it will check your input data set for that condition. So now I have a data set DS. I created a variable called hike. Hike is equal to sal into 0.1. So now I wanted to find people whose hike is less than or equal to 6,000. Okay, whose hike is less than or equal to 6,000. Now, if you write where statement here, your SAS will check, data set DS for this variable hike. That is what I told you, right? Whenever we are writing where statement, your SAS will check input data set. Okay, your SAS will check input data set. If you run the program here, you see log window, variable hike is not on file, work.ts. Okay, variable hike is not on file, work.ts. So if you write if statement applies on output data set. It applies on INC data set. Whenever we are writing where, it is checking for data set DS to apply this condition. Data set DS does not have the variable hike. And whenever we are writing if statement applies on output data set, INC data set. So you get results here. You see, right, log window. So there are no errors. Increment, you see, there are two people whose hike is less than 6,000. You see, is it clear, yes or no? Difference between where statement, if statement. Difference between where statement, if statement. Right. Okay, that's all for today, guys. If you have any questions, you can ask. Any questions? Right. I'm not hearing anything from you. So I assume there are no questions. And we are done for today. Please practice all these things. So from Monday, we will cover combining data sets. Okay. Right. Bye, guys.